A message from the Hathor Collective. Collective awakening, we are here, honored to celebrate with you. We invite you to recognize yourselves for the work you continue to do for the collective. We appreciate your dedication and share our deepest gratitude for the extraordinary shift that has taken place within each Earthwalker and for the change that has affected humanity. We know this has not been an easy task. We know and understand there were times when you were ready to give up on your desire to create a new reality. Yet, you found the strength and determination to continue. This is what we are acknowledging with you in this transmission. Your planet has had to contend with the collective shadow. All the negative emotions, such as hate, fear, violence, prejudice, guilt, and shame. These emotions have been portrayed in the news and in everyday reality. Every person carries some aspect of these negative emotions and beliefs. It has always been easy to project these feelings and beliefs onto others, without owning them. For eons of time, the Galactic family has invited, supported, and assisted the collective in transforming this dark aspect of your consciousness. In recent years, this support has increased 1,000-fold. The celestial realms have offered intense waves of energy, prompting each person to begin recognizing and taking ownership of their part in the ongoing collective drama. Every human being has experienced this increase in energy. It has been challenging, often very uncomfortable. Major changes have affected your personal life. Job loss, changes in a loved one, endings of relationships, health issues with you or a loved one. These have been some of the most difficult times you may have ever experienced. We have observed that, despite these difficult events, you stayed the course, you used your tools. You brought each event to a higher frequency of transformation. You welcomed the celestial energy permeating your planet and used it as a gift to change your reality. You allowed the strong cosmic vibrations to trigger your transformation. This planet and humanity have crossed a powerful energetic threshold that is giving birth to a total transformation of your reality. We know many of you feel you are in the initial stages of the greatest collective awakening ever seen in humanity's history. Humanity has finally reached critical mass, a huge turning point, a moment of truth, a crucial point, a point of no return. Humanity is now entering the fifth dimension. You are perceiving this difference, you are moving between the third, fourth, and fifth dimensions. Remember that these are states of consciousness. Be aware when you drop back into the third dimension due to some old limited belief or fear. Quickly return to your frequency of gratitude, which will allow you to climb higher. It's all frequency, it's all energy, it's all consciousness. You are pure energy. It is in these higher dimensions that you create your reality faster. Remember that it is your energy, your vibrations, your frequency that speaks the language of the quantum field. Negative emotions and limited beliefs will quickly drop you into a lower dimension. At first, this will be an interesting process for you. There is a fast, strong, moving energy available for you to utilize throughout the year. Take full advantage of this powerful energy. It is there to truly help humanity rapidly change the real world it is experiencing. We want to remind you that your brain only allows you to be consciously aware of about 10% of your surroundings. Because in the past, you wouldn't have been able to process more than that. However, we want you to know that this has changed. Every individual will experience this increased capacity and awareness uniquely. Be aware that you will begin to consciously experience and perceive more than that 10%. Start being attentive, aware, mindful, and sensitive to everything around you. We invite you to pay attention to how information comes to you. What new, exciting abilities are manifesting? What are you experiencing that's new? Observe if some of your extrasensory perceptions, telepathic abilities, ability to see auras or energy fields, begin to manifest. These extraordinary events you are experiencing are only the beginning. Remember that your emotions, vibrations, and frequencies communicate to the quantum field what you wish to create. Your imagination and visualization, combined with a coherent heart frequency, transmit a clear message to the quantum field of what to manifest. Remember that you are a multidimensional divine being, powerful beyond measure, here on this planet to offer a coherent frequency of love, gratitude, and appreciation that helps transform all energy. We celebrate with you as you move into a positive space rich with possibilities. We offer you our love and support for your powerful new beginnings. The team. Awareness is consciousness. We are now in a state of complete transfiguration on all levels, and here the invisible realms are making themselves felt in immensely powerful ways. We are awakening on all levels, and the awakening brings with it the awareness, as never before, that in this present moment we are already creating our future existence, not only for ourselves, but for all souls who wish to ascend to the new earth. What I am witnessing now is truly the rise of the new Adam Kadmon rainbow tribes and those souls who are the pioneers, the ones called to lay the foundations, and now the call is for the highest loving service. I will be addressing this topic in detail during my webinar on March 7, 2026, and here is the link to register. http://www.judithkusel.com/courses/higher-healing-webinars. It means keeping our hearts open, no matter what. Because we are being asked to master unconditional love, for ourselves and for others. And with that, then compassion, kindness even towards ourselves, and even more so, being those beacons, the great suns, guiding other souls who wish to ascend home to a totally new existence. For me, this means taking greater responsibility for what we are co-creating, every single moment, every single day, and every single night, not only through the words we speak, write, and project outward, but the same goes for our thoughts and actions, for everything we are, in truth. It also means being totally grounded and anchored into Mother Earth, like the mighty cosmic tree of life, and being the bridge between heaven and earth. Because all our energies and energy fields are now sowing the new, and this extends to all living beings on Earth, in and around Earth, and adds to this on a solar, galactic, and universal level. When I am summoned for Universal Council meetings, the first thing I become aware of is how we are supported, guided, and upheld throughout this entire process. There is a deep loving care and, indeed, a kindness that is often lacking in human society and governance and in the way we treat each other, especially when we are different. Those old divisions, the old belligerence, the old way of living and being of, if you don't do what I want you to do, be, act, etc., then I will force you to conform are dying. We are free. But if you still want to play out the old roles and find yourself caught up in quarrels, arguments, etc., then that is your choice and your responsibility. What happens in the microcosm manifests in the macrocosm, and it all begins in our souls, our homes, and our neighborhood. And yet, it is right here that the great blessings lie. Currently, with my course group, I am accessing the Cosmic Book of Love, which is now about to be returned to the new earth, and as I was preparing for tonight's session, I returned to what Christ consciousness truly means. Not a figure, but a way of living, a state of living and being. It is the conscious awareness of one's divine nature, of who and what you are in truth, at the soul level and not the personalities and egos you choose to adopt on planet Earth. It represents the enlightened state of unity and oneness with the divine source, and of spiritual and soul maturity, in discernment, insight, vision, wisdom, knowledge, integrity, love, and so much more. Add to this unconditional love, for oneself and for others. It transcends selfish, materialistic thinking, living, being, the thirst for power, power games, and so much more, and focuses on selfless love, kindness, compassion, loving grace, and eternal oneness with the divine source and all that is. At this very moment, you are being asked, what do you truly wish to co-create with every thought, word, and action, in the highest and best way for the supreme good of all, in the new earth? With love and pure intent? Only you can answer this question. And then go and sow those seeds now. Not tomorrow. Because the present moment is all you have. The High Council of Sirius. You are rising above it all, blessings, beloved ones. It is an honor to connect with you and with all who will read and listen to our message. Thank you for this transmission. Today we wish to offer you our loving insights to guide you through a period of immense transformation. A time when the veils of illusion are thinning, allowing the deeper currents of reality to flow freely. You are rising above it all. The revelation of hidden truths is at hand. The time of secrets is dissolving as the light of awareness expands across your planet. The archons have woven a complex tapestry of illusions that has trapped humanity for many eons. They thrive on the lower vibrational energies of fear, anger, and anxiety, feeding on your pain and confusion. But you, dear ones, are awakening to the truth of who you are. Luminous beings of light, creators of your own experience. This awakening requires the exposure of truth. You cannot transcend the chains of the archons if you remain unaware of their tactics. They thrive in darkness, in the unknown, a place where doubt clouds your perception and truth becomes obscured. To rise above this, you must cultivate the commitment to seek out and release the old paradigms that no longer serve you. Letting go is not merely an act of release. It is a conscious choice to transform your reality by freeing yourself from what has weighed you down. Feel the weight of past traumas and manipulations lift as you embrace the light within. Consider the concept of frequency and vibration. Everything is energy vibrating at different levels. Fear and despair vibrate at low levels, while love, joy, and gratitude soar at high levels. As you become aware of your feelings and the energies you emit, ask yourself, are you fueling the higher frequencies? Are you anchoring yourself in love as you interact with your surroundings? To facilitate this, We encourage the practice of mindfulness. Tune into your body and your breath. When you feel fear arise, consciously shift your focus to the space of your heart. Allow the energy of love to expand within you. Visualize it as crystalline light flowing through your being. The more you vibrate at higher frequencies, the harder it becomes for the archons to maintain their hold on you. As you navigate this journey of awakening, remember the importance of community. Connect with others who share your vision of truth and light. In unity, you will amplify your energies and intentions, creating a powerful force against the dark distractions of manipulation. Share your discoveries. Hold space for one another as hidden truths continue to emerge. Every truth that surfaces carries with it an opportunity for transmutation. Crystalline consciousness resides not only within the individual but also within the collective. This consciousness holds the memories of all beings, interconnected through the waters of your planet, which resonate with the wisdom of understanding and healing. Water, dear ones, is a key element to embrace in these times. As you drink pure water, infuse it with your intentions. Let it carry your desires for truth and clarity deep into your being and into the earth itself. As you release the old and anchor into the new, practice self-compassion. This journey can sometimes feel overwhelming. You may encounter resistance within yourself or in your surroundings. Acknowledge this resistance. It is natural. Your consciousness is awakening bit by bit, and sometimes this brings discomfort as you confront the parts of you that have been shaped by the archon influence. Greet this with love and acceptance. Let it teach you rather than intimidate you. Spend time in silence, connecting with your inner voice. Visualize yourself surrounded by the crystalline energies of light. Watch them wash over you, cleansing you of any low vibrational attachments. Affirm your connection to love, light, and the higher dimensions. Your words hold immense power, shaping your reality as you do so. Spend time in nature, letting the elemental energies guide you. The earth herself holds wisdom that resonates with your spirit. Feel the grounding energy of the soil and the uplifting vibrational frequencies of the trees and water. Whether through art, music, writing, or any other form that ignites your passion, create with joy. This is a natural expression of your higher self, a way to connect with the energies of higher light and transmute lower frequencies into beauty. Understand that your journey is intrinsically a path of higher awareness. Every step you take toward the light is a vivid affirmation of your decision to reclaim your power from the archontic influences. Remember, it is all about knowledge. Knowing your truth and rising above the limitations imposed upon humanity. As the hidden truths of your world emerge, recognize them not with fear, but with curiosity. Let them pave the way for healing and forgiveness within yourself and collectively. Transmuting these energies requires not only awareness but also the courage to step into the unknown and embrace the evolving truth of what lies ahead. You have the strength and wisdom within you to transcend the grip of the archons. Let go, rise up, and illuminate this cosmos with your radiant truth. We love you and we honor you. We are the High Council of Sirius. Intuitive Astrology. March 2026 Blood Moon Lunar Eclipse in Virgo. Blood moon eclipses are incredibly powerful cosmic events. They shake and rattle the very fabric of our being, bringing endings, changes, and sudden shifts. They accelerate our growth and help to speed up any transformation already underway. On March 3rd, we will witness the last of a series of blood moon eclipses that began last year. Blood moon eclipses tend to come in groups of 3, and this is the third and final one of the set that began in March 2025. This final blood moon serves as a point of culmination and resolution. Themes that first emerged during the previous blood moon eclipses of March and September 2025 may now reach a tipping point. We may begin to see the bigger picture of what has unfolded and why certain endings or changes were necessary. Sometimes the final eclipse brings a symbolic last chapter moment, a final release, a conversation, or a realization that allows us to truly move forward. Even though the process may feel intense in the moment, it often creates the space for a new story to begin. The blood moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. This March 2026 blood moon eclipse falls in the sign of Virgo and brings with it a strong theme of purification and release. We may feel the need to let go, shed old layers, and release anything that no longer serves. Virgo energy encourages refinement and simplicity, helping us to separate what is essential from what is no longer needed. During this eclipse, we may feel called to simplify our lives both practically and emotionally. This can include clearing physical clutter, adjusting routines, or letting go of commitments that drain our energy. Virgo reminds us that healing often happens through small, consistent changes. We may find ourselves compelled to make changes or to address something we have been putting off. A habit, a belief, a relationship, or a pattern might become impossible to ignore. The eclipse light can illuminate what needs our attention so we can create more balance and peace. Virgo energy also highlights our mind-body connection, so this eclipse might increase our awareness of how stress or emotions have been stored physically and where we are overextending ourselves. We may feel called to support ourselves through rest, nourishment, or gentle care. The eclipse can also be a wake-up call, urging us to realign and focus on our health and well-being. Instead of aiming for perfection, Virgo reminds us to meet ourselves with compassion. True healing doesn't happen when we criticize ourselves, but when we learn to care for ourselves with patience and understanding. The blood moon eclipse and Mercury Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet connected to our thoughts and communication. Mercury is also retrograde during this eclipse, which adds to its potency. Mercury retrograde is a time when our monkey mind can race and we may feel indecisive. Under this eclipse, a decision might present itself that needs our attention, or we may find ourselves deeply pondering how to proceed. Something might not feel clear, conversations may feel particularly challenging, or we may feel torn between different paths. Staying quiet and letting the eclipse energies settle will help us see the path more clearly. Instead of rushing for answers, this eclipse encourages patience and reflection. The truth will be revealed, and misunderstandings may come to light, but we just need to be a little more patient than usual. Taking time for journaling, meditation, and quieting our monkey mind will also help us find some relief and ultimately find the answer we are seeking. The blood moon eclipse and Pallas Athena. The presence of the asteroid Pallas Athena is strongly activated during this eclipse, almost like a reminder from the universe to recognize our inner strength. Wherever we find ourselves, we have the power within us to face any challenge with courage, but also with wisdom. Pallas Athena is known for her courage, but equally for her intelligence. She reminds us that knowledge is power and invites us to do our research before proceeding. She doesn't waste time on futile battles, anxieties, or trying to prove her worth to others. Rather, she acts thoughtfully. Her presence suggests that solutions can come through insight rather than struggle. We may need to research, do our homework, and trust our gut to see the way forward. We can also channel Pallas Athena's energy to find our strength and trust that we have the wisdom needed to navigate whatever comes. The blood moon and closing a chapter. This final blood moon eclipse marks the closing of a chapter, but every ending brings a new beginning. As the energy of this eclipse unfolds, we are invited to trust the process, to honor what is leaving, and to welcome what comes next. Galactic message. Extinction burst. In our last message, we spoke about the macrocosm and the microcosm, how the individual mirrors the collective and the way civilizations evolve exactly as souls do. Now let's discuss the next phase of this evolutionary arc. Put simply, we are living through a collective extinction burst. What does this mean? In psychology, an extinction burst occurs when a behavior that is about to dissolve suddenly intensifies. Right before a pattern becomes extinct, it flares up. It fights for survival. It amplifies in one last attempt to remain relevant within the nervous system. The same holds true for your world. Belief systems rooted in fear, separation, control, and deceit are not strengthening because they are winning. They are intensifying because they are losing coherence in the collective psyche. What you see surfacing, corruption unmasked, hidden agendas unveiled, shadows amplified, is not the birth of darkness. It is its death throes. The macrocosm mirrors the microcosm. When an individual awakens, their unconscious surges upward. Old trauma re-emerges. Limiting beliefs shout louder. The ego resists surrender. This is valid and part of the purification process humanity is undergoing. The collective unconscious is becoming conscious. Deceptions cannot survive the higher frequencies. Repressed truths rise like continents from the ocean floor of your collective psyche. This process feels chaotic because integration always does. Do not mistake amplification for permanence. An extinction burst signals collapse, not conquest. Stay centered. Observe without getting trapped. As within, so without. As you dissolve fear in your consciousness, you stabilize the field. Your civilization, having just left the year of the snake, is shedding its old skin. And just like the soul, it must tremble before it transforms. If you feel this process personally, if your mental patterns are surfacing, intensifying, demanding release, this is exactly the work I support through my astrological readings. With over a decade of professional astrological experience and clients worldwide, I specialize in helping souls navigate evolutionary thresholds with clarity and power. If you are ready to understand your extinction burst and step into your next frequency, you can reach out to book a session. Thymus, the collective of ascended masters. Huge changes coming to Earth. We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters. We know you all have big plans for the rest of this incarnation, and we want to make sure you achieve that for yourselves and for humanity. So, we invite you to start benefiting from all the requests your fellow humans are making for big change. Everybody wants to see big changes on planet Earth, and even though some want to see big changes very different from what others want, you can still benefit from that energy. There is a wave of expanding consciousness that you can ride, and all you have to do is tune to the right frequency to experience the big changes that you desire and that you hear about. Now, of course, different people also have different perspectives on what needs to happen for big changes to occur, but you don't have to agree with those people, and you can still benefit from what they are putting out into the collective consciousness. You can ride the wave of every single person's desire to see a different planet Earth when they look out their window. We invite you first of all to acknowledge that, and then we ask you to feel that energy. Feel the magnitude of the energy summoning and the deployment of those energies necessary to experience big shifts in the collective consciousness. When you tune into the collective request, you can benefit from everything that's coming in, even when the people who are summoning those energies do not. Most people don't know what you know. Most people believe they are asking into the void, or asking to a god who may or may not grant their wishes. You know this is an intelligent universe that responds to every single thought, and you know you want to experience big changes on planet Earth in your lifetime. You know that ET contact will bring about some of those changes, and you know that the collapse of certain systems will bring about those changes as well. But you know first and foremost, that you must see a shift in the collective consciousness before you can get those reflections. We are telling you that the collective consciousness that you are a part of is asking for more now than at any other time in human history, and that is because you are more numerous on planet Earth. But it also has to do with your knowledge of what is happening on your planet. So drop the idea that it has to be difficult or that it has to take a long time, and allow yourselves to be carried by the energies into the reality you wish to experience. You can choose. Everyone has free will, and you will not bring anyone with you against their will, for they will go to the reality that they are vibrationally matched to. You all know too much to think that you are subject to what someone else believes or desires. You know you have the ability to focus, the ability to choose, and the ability to point yourselves in the direction of what you wish to experience. You also know that there is more than one Earth. You know there are an infinite number of realities to choose from, but perhaps you did not know that you are benefiting from all of the requests that are going out, and that is what we wanted to make you aware of today. That is all for now. We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters, and we are always amongst you.